Blind conscience, what is it? There are two kinds. The kind where you see an injustice and choose to ignore it. The kind where you are blind to the consequences in your own life if you choose to fight injustice. I'm Margot O'Neill. I've written a book called Blind Conscience. It comes out in November this year, published by UNSW Press. It's an Australian story. It's a universal story. It's the story of men and women who decided to fight the policies of the former Conservative Australian government, which was to lock up all asylum seekers who came to Australia, often in remote desert or island detention centres where they were given numbers instead of names. And for a long time it was a very popular policy. So what's it like for these people, many of whom were political rookies, had never been engaged like this before? What was it like for them to take on such a popular policy with such a popular government? They say it was bloody awful. It changed their lives, it transformed their lives. They lost a lot of friends, they lost a lot of time and money. At the same time, they say they would all do it again. It's got some compelling insider accounts too. Liberal Party politicians who took on their own Prime Minister, what it was like for them to be shunned in the corridors of Parliament, to be shouted down in their own party room meetings, to go toe-to-toe with their Prime Minister in a brutal 3-day stare-down. And from Liberal politicians, it's such a diverse movement. You go to left-wing radicals who got detainees and raced them across the desert in sort of mad escapes out of these detention centres and set up an underground sanctuary movement to try and look after them. It's also the story of often just middle-class, middle-aged women in particular who got involved, who were called mums by the detainees, who became emotionally entwined with their cases and did so much to help them. It's harrowing, it's also inspiring, it's a story of political engagement, it's a deeply, deeply personal story. When politics gets personal, this is it, Blind Conscience.